we can't reinflate the bubble. Just as we devised a new system of Bretton Woods in '44, which was doomed to fail, it failed in '71, and then we came up with the dollar reserve standard, which was a paper standard. It was doomed to fail, and we have to recognize that it has failed. And if we think we can reinflate this bubble by artificially creating credit out of thin air and calling it capital, believe me, we don't have a prayer of solving these problems.
Monetary policy is very, very important, and other people don't want to talk about it, either because they like the way it works and they can finance their project, or they just don't understand it. But the American people, I find, are understanding this better than a lot of people here in Washington. If we double the money supply, which we do in not too many years, why wouldn't that money have half the value? Right. So it's the money that goes down in value which causes the inflation, the higher prices to rise, which is so harmful to the middle class and the poor, because they suffer rising prices more so than if you're on Wall Street, where you get to use the newly created money to promote deals, leverage buyouts and these things. They make billions of dollars.
It's the way you cheat people. Characteristically, when you destroy a currency, you transfer wealth out of the middle class to the wealthy. And we're witnessing that all the time today. When the bailouts come, they bail out the wealthy. Yes, they had to pay higher prices for gasoline, but it doesn't hurt them. The person now who's lost their job because of the recession, they didn't get to bail out, and now they're getting hit with higher cost of living. So it's a terrible system.
The middle class is being wiped out, and nobody's understanding that it has to do with the value of money. Prices are going up. So how are you able to defend this policy of deliberate depreciation of our money?
And it's built on a mystical belief that if you just print money, it's going to have value. It's never worked.
It is an inflation tax, and even though it's not tax in the conventional sense, it's a tax because that's how you can get money out of people's wallet without taking it from them through the IRS. So if you double the money supply and your dollar goes down 50%, the government has literally stolen 50% of the value of your money. So it is an inflation tax, and it's very, very unfair, and it is the most regressive tax we have.
We have a total misunderstanding of what credit is versus capital. Capital can't come from the thin air creation by a Federal Reserve System. Capital has to come from savings. We have to work hard, produce, live within our means, and what is left over is called capital. This whole idea that we can recapitalize markets by merely turning on the printing presses and increasing credit is a total fallacy. So the sooner we wake up to realize that a new system has to be devised, the better. Right now, I think the central bankers of the world realize exactly what I'm talking about, and they're planning. But they're planning another system that goes one step further to
My ultimate proposal there, as it has been over the years, even back in the 80s with the Gold Commission, was just allow us to have competition. If the dollar is a good currency to operate with, let's just allow gold and silver to circulate. But today, if you use gold and silver as legal tender in payment of debt, as the Constitution says, you could go to jail for this. So we are compelled by law to use depreciating money, and therefore who wants to save money for 20 years if the money might be worth 1/3 of what it is when you put it away?